Hey everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Relax.Cut.Glue. If you're new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you all here with me today. So yesterday, you guys saw me make a journal cover out of a Cheez-It box using a junk journal kit that I bought off of Etsy. Today, I'm going to show you how to sew in the signatures. I've showed this several times on my channel, but I did get requests in the comment section for people to watch me do this. These are my 3 signatures that I'll be adding into my book here. I'm going to show you first, well here, let me show you the cover, how well this turned out. Doesn't that look so cute? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm in love with this. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a no-sew method. You can do this one of 2 ways. You can do this with string, yarn, ribbon, whatever you want to use, or you can use elastic. These are 6 colors, 3 yards. I got for $2.99 at Hobby Lobby, but I also get it at the Dollar Tree as well. So definitely check there first. The only reason why I bought that is because Dollar Tree was out at the time. But I'm going to show you using string. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. So I have 3 signatures. Okay, so I'm holding my journal and I wrapped around once, twice, 3 times, and then I'm going to stop. Now I should have 3 strings in the back. I do, and I want to leave a little extra to tie, and then I'm going to cut that off. Just put this all back together. You get in there, Missy. There we go. Okay, so now I have the correct amount of string or elastic. Now if you're doing this with elastic, don't pull super tight, because you don't want it to be too tight and then you're bending your book. So here's how we are going to do a no-sew method. You take your string and leave a little bit. This is what I'm going to be tying with, so I want to make sure I have a good amount of string here. And then I'm going to have my book facing me. And so I'm going to wrap it around once, wrap it around twice, making sure that my strings are not overlapping each other. And I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. Double checking my strings are not overlapping each other. And I'm going to bring it back. So all I do now is I crisscross. That's all I did. I just crisscross applesauce. And then I'm going to take one of the strings and put it under this whole group of strings. So I have a shorter piece here. Just is kind of how I ended up making it. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit higher. So I'm going to take my longer string and I'm just going to push it through under that whole big stack of string. And then I'm going to tie a knot. Here we go. All right, pulling my stuff tight now. This is where I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze. And I want to make sure that, one, these are in the right spot. These will be able to move around just a little bit. I just want to make sure. Okay, so I don't want my page to, or my book to bend, but I want to make sure that these are tight, but not too tight. Okay, so I'm bringing this back down. I'm just going to give it one more little tight little squeeze. Put my little finger there, and I'm going to tie a knot. Hopefully. Okay, hold on. Some of you are probably screaming me at the comments. Do it this way, do it that way. This is how I do it, so you can do it your own way if you would like. And you know what? It's really hard to craft on camera. It really is. Oh my gosh, I never have this much trouble. Okay, so I've got my first little knot. I'm just gonna bring that down, tie it, and then do another knot. You can do as many knots as you want. I'm just going to do 2 because I'm going to end up cutting this off anyways. But then you'll have this extra string here that you could add dangles or beads or whatnot. So then you turn this back around. Now, obviously, if I was just doing 3 signatures, I probably wouldn't have made my spine quite as big. But this is how you would do it no sew. So that looks really pretty, right? So then you take your signature. Now, you can sew this in if you want. Or leave it loose. So you just open it up and you slide your papers in. Get your signature in there. Okay, this is going to be a struggle kind of video. There we go. Okay. slide it in, and now you have one of your signatures in, and it is not going to come out, and I didn't even sew it in. So that's one way to do it. And like I said, if you have elastic, it might be even easier. So I considered doing this method because I wanted to be able to like write in here and stuff, and I thought maybe if I could take my signatures out, it might be easier for me as a glue booker. But I'm not going to do it this way. I am going to actually sew in my signatures. But I just wanted to show you guys this really easy way to make a no-sew version. I'm going to save my string because you just never know. Okay, so now another trick for sewing in your signature. I don't know if you can see where my, there we go, where my spine is there. I did a 1-inch spine. So I took a piece of cheap thin copy paper from the Dollar Tree, and I made it the same size as my spine, 1 inch by the length of, or the height of my book. So what I'm going to do is set my book aside. So this is my template for sewing in my signatures. So what I'm going to do is fold this in half, and I'm going to start in the middle, making sure that my edges are meeting each other, and then go down to the edge here, kind of pull, oops. Okay, of course, because I'm on camera. Okay, get a nice crisp edge. Taking my time because this is my template. I'm folding it in half. That's all I'm doing. But I do want to make sure that it is actually in half. You could always score this if you wanted to. I just find this is a lot easier. Okay, so I have it folded in half. Give that a little crease. Now open it up. And because I have 3 signatures, this is my middle signature, I'm going to take my paper and now fold it into the middle. Like I said, some people might not want to do this, so you can just, you know, score it. This is just a neat little trick for getting good placement for your signatures. Okay, so now I folded that in, open that back up. So this is where my first signature will go, and this is where my second signature will go. And now I'm going to fold in the opposite side into the middle, making sure I'm even. So there. So then you open it back up, and now you have the 3 lines. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see because it's, but you can see the 3 crease marks. So I folded it in half, hot dog style. You can then fold it in half again. I just find it easier to then open it up, take this side, fold it to the middle, open it up, take this side, fold it to the middle, and open it up. Okay, so now I have my lines where my 1, 2, 3 signatures are gonna go. So now I take it and I fold it the longer way, fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. All right, so now you open it up, and you now have 3 lines right here. And now you take the bottom one and fold that up to that line right here. Open it back up, turn it around, do the same thing at the top, like that. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines going across. Now, if I was doing a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, done. I'm already done, but I'm not. I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I'm going to ignore this one and this one, but I could use them if I wanted to. So let me show you what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take my marker, and right where these lines intersect, I'm going to put 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, because I have 3 signatures. So now I'm going to go to the middle. There's my middle line. Those are where those touch, and I can't see this one. There it is. There it is. Now I'm skipping this one and going down to this one. Let's see here. There, there, and there. So now I have my perfect marks for sewing in my signature. Super easy to do. So now what I do is I just set this right here in my spine. And I like to use some binder clips. Do I have my little ones in here? I need to find my binder clips. They just like grow legs and walk away. I don't know what's happening. Okay. This is kind of hard for me to see where the middle of my spine is here. Okay, so there's my middle of my spine. So I'm just gonna clip this on there. Don't worry, I know it's crooked. I'm gonna fix it. There we go. And there. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just leave it up like that. All right, so where's my other one? Here we go. Making sure this is straight and even. There we go. Adding binder clip. Zena's staring at me like, what is happening right now? Oh, Zena. Oh, you know what? I need to move this over just a little bit. Hold on. You know what? I'm just going to use a paper clip. I feel like that would be easier for this journal. All right. Sorry. Hold on. You know I'm a perfectionist. You guys don't have to be this serious about things. I get particular. Okay. So now I'm ready to punch my holes. So let me get this. I have an old book I got at the Dollar Tree, and this is what I use to punch my holes. And then whenever I have like scrap cardboard or packaging, I just kind of shove it in there for more stuff, more space. So I'm going to set this on my book. Oh my goodness, I'm a train wreck in this video. You guys have me nervous for some reason. I don't know what my deal is. Okay, here we go. All right, now I'm going to take my awl and I'm going to punch in all these holes. But first, I missed a very important part. I'm going to put a T at the top. Very important. You may think that all these holes are the same, but when you put them in, you're going to want to match your signature with the correct piece. And I'll get going on that. But you always want to make sure this is at the top, because if you rotate this, even though we measured and everything is, you know, quote unquote kind of perfect, it will be wonky. So always put a T at the top or a star or an X or something so you know that this is the top. That is super important. That's why so many people get frustrated with putting in signatures, because you accidentally flip this around and then your pages are all wonky and you don't know what's happening. So that's what it is. Okay. So now I'm just going to poke my first hole right in that spot. And my second hole. And I'm just going to continue poking all these holes. Today and tomorrow are Amazon Prime days. I did post some Prime deals, I think 4 or 5. They are on my Amazon or my YouTube community tab, as well as in my Facebook group. There's a new glue that I'm trying. It actually comes today. I ordered it yesterday. That's amazing. It's an Elmer's glue stick, but it says it's extra strong and amazing. So I'm going to try that. And then also some washi tape and some other things. Okay. So now I'm going to take this off. There are my holes for me to punch in my signatures. And if you make the same size journal, you can keep your template and keep using it over and over again. Okay. So now this is how I do it. You guys, there's millions of different ways to do this. So if you see another YouTuber doing it differently, do not tell them they're doing it wrong. We're just doing it different because there's lots of different ways to do it. So they're right, I'm right, we're all right. Okay. So this is an easy way for me to do things. So I'm going to open up my paper, and I'm also going to put a T at the top so I remember that it goes this way. So I take my signature, I take my middle piece out, I fold it inside out. My T is up here. This is the top of my journal. So I'm going to set my papers evenly on my journal, how I want it to be in my book. There we go. I'll bring it down just a hair. Okay, so I'm also going to put T1. This is my first signature. And you go like this. And you mark where that is so that you know where to punch your holes. All right, so this will be T1 if you want to go through and do all your signatures at once. So then I turn it back the right side, put it back in my signature, tap, 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 tap. I put my fingers in my paper and kind of push them up into into my hand and I tap and kind of push my fingers down, because you want to make sure you get all those papers together. All those papers together. Okay, so now I'm going to add a string, or I'm sorry, I just picked up a string. Add some paper clips, binder clips, anything that will hold your papers together. So I'm going to use 4, 1 on each section of the papier. Okay. You guys, sometimes I still get like butterflies when I'm doing a video. Okay, here we go. All right, so I have all my 4 corners. I know this is my first signature. There's a T at the top. So now I am going to move my cover over. I am now going to take my awl and I'm going to punch in these holes in the middle of my spine here. And right here. You could also use your template to punch holes. That's how I used to do it, but I got lazy and this is how I do it now. But when I first started, what I would do is you take your template. So I would fold it on this, because this is my first signature. You just fold it and put it in here, right? And then punch the holes where the holes are. But I just find this way easier for me. You can do it that way if you feel like you need to do it that way, because that's how I used to do it and it worked really well. All right, so now I need to pick a color. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go with baby blue. Now this is just embroidery floss that I got from the Dollar Tree. So in order to check how much string you need, you take your piece, go to the top here. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's all you need, but I always add a little extra because I find it easier for me. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm gonna get my needle. Let me grab my favorite one, which is that one. Okay. Let's thread the needle. Yep, that was my spit you heard. Just drooled all over this. Oh, there. Put it right in there. Okay. That's what she said. So now I take my cover. I know that this is the top. I know that this is the top because obvi, I can tell, but it also says it right here. I'm just going to take my book and I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So there's lots of different ways to do this as well. You can start in any of these holes. This is just how I start. In fact, it was funny. One of my glue crew members, a friend of mine, she said, "Which hole do you start in?" Which I thought was so funny because you can start in any hole, and it was just, you know, it's a preference. Like, I start in the middle. That's just how I've always done it. She starts at the bottom. Okay, so in the middle I go into my first middle hole, and I'm gonna pull that through. I'm leaving a tail behind because this is what I'm gonna use to tie it in the end. Oops, what do we got going on here? And in we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's turn our book back the right way. Okay, so now I've got it in the middle hole, the bottom hole. Now I'm going to go in through the top. Let's get that through there. Put it in the top hole. Now this is the part where it gets slightly tricky. I'm going to put this off to the side. You have to go in this hole again for the second time. However, you need to be super careful, and I just did it. You need to be really careful. That's why I like to pull this kind of off to the side a little bit. You can even clip it if you want. But you really want to make sure that your needle doesn't go through the other piece of thread that's in there, because that's a big no-no. Oops, hold on. Hold on. There we go. Come on through, baby. Come on through to the other side. Okay. Okay, so now this actually worked out great. So what you want to do is make sure that one string is on either side of your middle string. Lots of times when I kind of pull this one through, it's more like this, and that's fine. I just have to take this one, or any one of them, it doesn't matter which one, and put it under here because you want one on either side of your middle string. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull tight either side. This is just my process. Flip it over, make sure that this is all perfect, that I got them in the right holes, because you just never know. Give it one more little squeeze and then tie off your signature. It's really quite simple. You just really need to take your time. There we go. And I'm gonna leave a little bit of extra because I'm not sure if I want to hang anything off it yet. Okay, so now I have that signature in. I'm gonna take these off because I'll use them on the next one. I am now going to erase this. I don't want that on there anymore. And my first signature is in my book. Okay, we're moving on to the second one. I'll do one more signature on, actually no. Okay, so I'm gonna go finish putting my signatures in off camera and I'll be right back. All right, everyone, my junk journal is done. Here are my 3 signatures. I have blue, purple, and pink. There's the back. Here's the inside. Now, of course, I didn't add any pockets and all that kind of stuff yet. And I didn't add like envelopes and stuff in my signatures. So all I did was add some cream grid paper and a couple pieces of bright colored paper in between the printed papers that I had. So that's that signature. And then you have this nice space in between, which I like because I like to lay my book flat. So yeah, that's just how I made my junk journal. So now I'm gonna get to the fun part where I get to decorate it, and that's the best part. But isn't this so stinking cute? I just can't even stand it. This is like the cutest little thing I ever did see. Oh, and I have a couple of these paper clips that were in my Happy Mail, a little kitty. I could add like a little paper clip right here. I mean, I'm gonna decorate this, don't worry. Don't you worry. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope I inspired you in some way. It's really fun to put your signatures in. Doing it the no-sew way is super awesome as well because you can take your signatures out and work on them and then put them back in without having to deal with the bulk of the book. Super easy peasy. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. All the cool kids are doing it. Don't forget to drink your water. Super important. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends.